Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, Sake here, and welcome back to Motorsport Manager. And we crossed a pretty big milestone, at least I did. In the last episode, I crossed 100 hours played in Motorsport Manager, and you've seen every single race that I've ever done in this game. So if you've been around for all over 130 some odd episodes, thank you so much. But today, our focus is on Rio De Janeiro. We have 2 races to go and practice, and the race looks awful wet. Tire wear is a medium wear with a high fuel burn. I'm thinking maybe we'll go all ultras all the time. The tires should stand up, and with the fuel burn the way it is, and I mean, we might not even be on ultras at all. We might be on intermediates or wets as far as that is concerned. But we will go ahead and continue. Car repair will be done. We'll just make sure that we have improved all of the parts that we need to improve, and indeed we have. Now we're working on performance of that engine for next season. Essentially what we will do is, since we know we are not going to get any sort of good finish, I guess you could say, out of this particular year with 2 races to go, it's not like we're in contention for a championship. We'll just focus on upgrading our shoddy parts to get them tip-top shape. Looks like 14 days before the race. Yeah, we could probably get that done fairly quickly. There we go. October 30th, performance work is done and the factory staff is idle. Let's give them something else to do. And we also have 6 sponsors. So slot 5 opens up. 4th or above, 6th or above. I'm guessing we could do 6th or above. It's only for 3 races, so it's a short-term investment. 700,000 per race if we can get 6th or above. And there's a little bit of an upfront payment, so we will go ahead and accept that offer there. Takes us up to $10.3 million, and slot 6 is open as well. 400 grand per race for 10 races. That's $4 million. Good job, Ravelli and company, since there's no upfront payment to worry about. So those sponsors are taken care of. Now we do have the idle factory staff. 3 days until that new gearbox is done. So we might be able to top off what is necessary here at Rio: the engine, the suspension, and the rear wing. We haven't really touched the rear wings much. I lied. Yes, we have. And our suspension definitely needs some work. It can get up to 16/16 2 days before the race. That's actually quite handy indeed. It's 50 or 60 points above our current suspension, which is all well and good. All right, off we go. The gearbox will be done here momentarily. The European Racing Series raced at the Black Sea with Miki Nishizumi. Good job, Miki, and you look like you got jacked up, girl. I mean, that doesn't look like a winner's face, unless she crashed across the line or something. But good job, Nikki. And the gearbox is done. Nikolai is feeling better. So speaking of injuries, we don't have a guy with a shoddy neck anymore, which is good to see. All right, gearbox is done. Next time we can work on the performance of that gearbox, and I don't know if we can design a part. 11 days, 5 days, 7 days, 5 days. Let's work on something that we can turn around very quickly. And we're 4th on the rear wing, 5th, 6th, 5th, 7th, and 5th. So, I mean, the gearbox is where we need to be. I think we can do it. Sure. It says we can build a legendary, but I don't think we have the facility to do such things as these. Let's work on a wing. The rear wing, we haven't shown much love. High-speed corners plus 20. High-speed corners, so that's plus 35 and no risk. It increases the build time, though. Yeah, it's a 1587 versus a 1587. It just adds a couple days with no risk, and we will take that. Seems good. 1 day before the next race, it seems. So we might be able to get that all figured out. And like I said, next year, if we do focus on a particular car, we want the tire wear. I think tire wear will win us more races. All right, simulator, 35% chance of rain, you say? Well, I mean, that's all well and good. We are working on improving that part, still 2 days before the race for that suspension, and they went to Russia as well in the Asia Pacific. Good job, Chuck Woody. Chuck Woody making a name for himself. Good job, Chuck Woody. And there we go. Suspension is done, and the rear wing is designed. So that suspension's taken care of. Let us focus on that gearbox. 11 days after the race, sure. Can we squeeze in that rear wing as well? For a 1587, looks good. 19 days after the race, we'll roll with that. And yeah, we should be all set to go to Rio De Jeniro. All right, we'll continue on. We'll take 6th or above. The tire selections, we'll split them in half as we do because we don't have any qualifying to worry about. We'll just bring a hearty selection of Ultras and Supers. And what we do need to do is get that suspension on this car. And since Rick is number 1, and I don't mean I'm giving him the finger, Rick will go ahead and take the 1616. And Nikolai will get the 1567. So the brand new suspension right out of the gate, nice and easy. Sweet. So I will see you after practice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Rio, and nearly a perfect car all the way around. Just one great right there for Nikolai. I focus heavy on the Ultra Softs. Weren't able to get a full soft run because it did rain at the end of practice, so we actually got a little bit of intermediate tire knowledge as well. Looking at the forecast, though, we'll be dry through about lap 20, so maybe the last 1/3 of the race is going to be wet. I can't tell what it's going to do after that little bit of wetness, whether or not it will go away or whatnot, but 2/3 dry is more than 1/3 wet. So we will go with the Ultra Softs, and I've actually lowered Rick's fuel down to what he should run on the Ultras. I'm leaving Nikolai's fuel tank full as he's got 23 in the tank and 28 total laps. That means if he can go 5 laps on these Ultra Soft tires, which he should be able to, he can fill up his tank and go the rest of the way without filling up, which would be handy if he's doing tire changes. So fingers crossed that that is a legitimate strategy. Nice to see that Nikolai is feeling better without the dodgy neck. He's at a 7.5 form, and Rick is a 6.0 form. So, you know, we should be okay. Working our way from the back here on these Ultras, it looks like most everyone is on Ultras. I mean, the field is split half and half between Ultras and regular Softs. The big old bottleneck here on the infield section here, it's going to be tough to make passes here, but we're already up to temperature on those tires, so let's just cool our jets after a lap and try to keep these tires under us. Looking at the forecast, indeed, it does get even wetter on lap 21 within Inter's range. So we essentially, if we could split this into 2 and go all the way to lap 20 on these Ultra Softs, that would be okay. I'm thinking if we can go far enough in this stint on the Ultras to get within regular Softs range, Super Softs range, that would be okay. But if we can't, we might as well just bolt on more Ultras and go fast. That's going to be the hope and goal, really. And it does look like Nikolai is making his way up to 11th place with 25 laps to go. He just needs to run a few more laps and he can top off the fuel tank. Of course, we will wait until we need tires to do that. We can actually probably short fill and be good to go the rest of the way. With all of these slow sections here, it doesn't look like the fuel tank is bogging down Nikolai much. Rick is right there, right behind him. Probably should pass him in the grand scheme of things. And it does look like he is indeed fighting hard, but I mean, it's a bunch of switchbacks, inside, outside lane. You know, you're on the inside one turn, you're on the outside the next, and then you're on the inside turn. So it's tough to make up any ground with a racing line. But our team cars are running pretty much nose to tail. So they're even Steven as far as that's concerned. Let's conserve these tires just a little bit, and we need to start thinking about when to come to pit road. If we can do 6, 6, and 6, or maybe 7, 7, and 7. That would be ideal. That way we would be on a scheduled stop and be able to bolt on the inters. And yes, we will be finishing this race on intermediate tires starting on lap 21 for sure. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, except yours in that seat watching this race. So Rick has made his way up to 14th, but Nikolai isn't too far back in 16th place. So let's go ahead and short pit Nikolai. Get him on the ultras, because I don't think these softs can go the 15 laps we need them to. Or can it? Let's give it a try. Let's give it a try indeed. With 20 laps to go, we'll put just enough fuel to finish the race, and then when we come down for inters, we will not have to take any fuel whatsoever. And as far as Rick is concerned, we'll go ahead and have him go neutral and continue on pushing. But that Mercedes has gapped a 7-second lead on ultra tires, and that is just incredible. But let's go the super softs as well. Probably, if we were looking at pitting at lap 18, we need about 10 laps of fuel in the tank or thereabouts. So we'll short fill, but he will have to take fuel when he does get his enters. And there we go. Nikolai is done with his fuel for the race. Let's have him just do a neutral run. And he's all alone in the combat zone. Not really in touch with the rest of the guys, but he is on the supers. So hopefully he can extend that gap a bit. We'll be pitting right here with 11th place. Bolting on those supers and filling up for the fuel run, down and away. So Nikolai makes the pass, and Rick will settle in 19th. Nikolai moves up to 17th, and the pack is right here in front of us. And Nikolai is running pretty fast in open racetrack, and that's kind of what you see. When there's no one around you, you run faster laps. You can take the line that fits your car and your driving style. Yeah, he shaved off 3 seconds that lap, running in 16th place on super soft tires that should be technically slower than the ultra softs. But we will just settle in here, see what the leaders do there on pit road. The leaders were the ones that started the race on the supers. Now, whether or not they've swapped to ultras, and indeed, it does look like we have some ultra swaps. If they can make that last to the enters run, that would be ideal for them. But if they're sort of splitting the runs into a couple, then they might actually be slower. We'll conserve up these tires as they are getting pretty warm into the boiling point. What can we do? Well, you can drive harder and pass them. That's exactly what you can do there, Nikolai. And yeah, Nikolai is right there, and Rick is trying to make some moves as well to the inside. Outstanding. And then that car will get the inside, and then we'll get... Nope. I thought we were going to get the inside again. It's just like we can't tell our drivers to set up guys better. You know, but actually take the line that's advantageous to you, rather than, hey, that's an open spot. Oh, crap, I'm screwed for the next 5 corners because I took the wrong line. So 19th is pitting. Cavalcanti on ultras is pitting again. And they're essentially splitting up this run. That's exactly what they're doing. So they're going to get on pit road for probably ultras before the swap to intermediates. So we want to get on intermediates fairly quickly, but not too fast that we're actually like 3 seconds slower that lap. So probably lap 21 will be when we are coming in. So we just need to run 5 more laps or so, and we're on conservative tire running. Modi has crashed, so that'll be a position for us. Good job there, Modi. It's not a full course yellow. And I would have to say, if it was a full course yellow, I don't know if I would pit or not. I would probably pit for fuel. That way we didn't have to worry about taking up time on pit road for fuel, but unfortunately it was not a full course caution to reel everyone back in. So we're a whole pit stop behind, essentially 30 and 40 seconds. With 11 laps to go, we are nearing the point where the rain is coming. So I think going on Supers was a good call. Splitting a run on Ultras wouldn't have been really conducive, and we're out here all alone in 13th and 14th, and Carmibo and Strambi have gotten on Inters like 3 or 4 laps too early, I think. So that may not be good for them. All right, Rick needs to start thinking about coming down to pit road. I'll pit Nikolai first for his Inters. And, yeah, he doesn't need fuel, so just a 3-second in and out swap. And then for Rick, we'll go ahead and push everything we can out of these tires to try to get back before the rains come. Yeah, push everything you got there, Rick. 1 more lap to go, and you can get on your intermediates. All right, 8 laps to go. We'll just do that. It's a 12-second stop. But Nikolai is going to make up a ton of time when he gets down. Well, he would have without that 3-second mistake on Inters. So let's go ahead and give him the push. And Rick is doing his best. He's coming back around. Good on him. We'll just have him push Nikolai on pit road. And a mistake on that tire as well. But that's the last time we should be on pit road, and Rick comes out behind. So a 2-second mistake for Rick and a 3-second mistake for Nikolai, and everyone else is on Inters minus Ribeiro. Man, Ribeiro is going to get hung out to dry. That is for sure. Let's calm down these tires a bit and see if we can finish the race on our pace. Because their intermediates are a little bit better than ours. We are running a faster lap. I mean, for crying out loud, Nikolai Surikov can run faster on intermediates in the rain than he can on dry. And he doesn't have like a wet weather warrior perk or anything like that that I'm aware of. All right, with 6 to go, I think we can push the tires just a bit. We don't have to worry about fuel, so we can turn up the engine as need be. And 10th place is looking pretty shoddy. Hopefully they break down, or we can pressure them into having a breakdown. 5 laps to go, 71 and 79 on the tires. We might be able to get into the top 10 here, but it's not any points. And we are like 5 seconds behind the car in front of him. So even if we do get around, I don't think it's going to be conducive. But Team Car is battling right here. One just needs to poke the hole. Yeah. Come on, guys. You can do it. You can get around him there, Nikolai. I believe in you. Yeah, the tire wear is not conducive, but 3 laps to go. We'll just keep them on push so we have some tires left for the end of the race. But yeah, my cars are equal. You can't say that I favor one car over another because they find themselves on the racetrack and they end up taking away each other's line. I could tell one of them to go through, but I think, is it Rick? Yeah, Rick you can't give team orders to. He just won't have it. I could tell Nikolai to let Rick by, but I don't think Rick will have any better chance of catching this guy anyway. We'll tell him to allow him through. Okay, now race. So hopefully Rick can do something and he goes right back to racing. All right, so final lap coming around. So the leader is quite a ways ahead, 48 seconds. I can't push those tires, but I think, yeah, I really can't push any of those tires. I can go into overtake mode, though. We'll see if Rick can catch up to 10th place here. All right, go for broke. Give me everything you got. You've got the tires to do it, just barely. So 10th place, Becker is hanging on. And 11th and 12th place for us. No points. Cars finished right together. But we were still 50 seconds back from that Mercedes. And holy crap. Yeah, we are way out of their league. They're way out of our league. Like, we're not even in the same league. I feel like we're running Formula 2 cars against these guys or something. So I don't know if it came down to tires or did it come down to just lack of speed. We pitted at the same time. So this is just a sheer lack of speed. They were on Ultras, so were we. We swapped to the Super Softs. They stayed on Ultras until they got to the Intermediates, and then everyone pitted at about the same time. So yeah, we just didn't have speed. And we've got drivers, so that's not a thing. It's got to be the car. Has to be the car. No rules broken, but no one else did either. And of course, Mercedes and Ferrari gap, 7th and 9th in the points with 1 race to go, 117 points out. We might be able to vault into 4th, and I don't think we can fall to 6th. Risata Corsa would have to get both of their drivers in the top in order for that to happen. So we're pretty well stuck where we are in the championship with 1 race to go. But I told our chairman we would finish in 5th. So if we can snag a 4th in the last race, get a few points and they don't, that could be easily done. Getting 4th place money would be a lot better than 5th place money. I don't know how much money we've squirreled away until the end of the year. I didn't look at our financial situation. Do we even squirrel away money for the car? Because it may be a thing where the money we have is the only money that we have for the car, and that's not going to help us improve the tire wear. Luckily, the chairman ain't too miffed. Oh, Leon, we only lost 300 grand. But yeah, 9 million, if that is the only money we have for the car because we have not been putting any money back for the car, we're going to be screwed in the next season because I think I spent... What, did I spend over $10 million on the car last year? What is our finance? Let's see, next year's car. Okay, good. We put away $2 million per race. Or, we put away $1 million per race. We've scrolled away 14 million, which is not a bad start. Not a bad start indeed. All right, an interview. Why did you let him through? You gave team orders. Oh yeah, I'd love to have Dogger. He is a 5-star potential. I mean, the guy, if he can get his overtaking and braking up, he would be a near-perfect driver, and he has that potential. We have him scouted. He has a year left on his contract, though, and $4 million to break it. He's not worth that to us, but a dramatic race in Rio. Not really. Mercedes dominate. And we do have a sponsor slot to end the year with. Slot 1, usually the biggest payout, and our last race is Dubai. So a very low tire wear. With a low fuel burn, we're going to be on the supers. That is no question in my mind. And we might fill up both drivers because we didn't seem to lose time to the other car. It was 6 on one hand, half dozen on the other. Filling up one car just to get to the tires, or just keeping the car full and not taking fuel, it worked out even in the end with our very even cars. But that will do it for me. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next week for the finale of Season 10, where we attack Dubai and try to get 4th place in the team standings behind Catano. We only need 5 points. It can be done. Take care.